This is Holly. I can't see where I'm supposed to hit the, sorry about the button.
Go ahead.
But thank you very much for your presentation. And I very much appreciate the, 30,000 plus foot view. And I'm wondering, in thinking about, I hear your message about safety being the potential trump card. Can you think of what card, is there a particular card that you think we should pay attention to in responding to that trump card, right? We've been, clearly there's a limitation in terms of safety. The CDC says, you shouldn't ever use a single vial twice, and CMS says you can kind of do it sometimes. Would you counsel us to think about a particular card to respond with?
Well, the card that I respond is the demand for redesign. It's that we're not done until we can figure out either. Well, there are three possible solutions I can think of. One is to figure out a way that one can re-enter a drug container safely. Let's solve that problem. Let's figure out what it is. I don't know what it is, but that would be one. The second is get out of the pricing game. I don't think it's the actual cost of the material that's in that vial that's the issue here. It's the price. And so figure out a way to do financing of this problem that frees us from the pricing trap. The third might be some technique of changing the way we think about dosing so that the vials are always exactly what we need. But that sounds really hard to solve. But to me, it's an attitudinal shift. It's not to say, too bad, we can't save money on this. Well, let's throw the stuff away. It's not okay. It's not okay because that same conversation in a different form will be had with every other form of waste and excess in American healthcare. And someone's got to begin to set a standard and say, nope, this money is too important for other non-healthcare uses for us to accede to this. So, Holly, I'm not sure that's a satisfactory answer, but it's believing that we can solve it and have to, instead of saying, sorry, next problem.
Thank you. That's very helpful.
If others have comments, just speak up. I see the hand raising doesn't seem to be working.
I raised my hand. This is Alistair. It seems to me that the thing we are agonizing over is the disparity between cost and price. For example, supposing you paid a fixed amount for a dose, whatever that dose was, then this would be irrelevant because as you touched on, the actual cost of producing another 0.5 ml of drug is essentially zero. And the relationship between the cost of producing another 0.5 ml of drug and price is also non-existent. So would you recommend that we challenge that and take on the issue of how we should pay for the drug? Because that's the fundamental problem here. Because we're paying for volume of drug rather than paying for dosage of drug, we're getting into this problem. If we were just paying for a dose of drug, we wouldn't be having this discussion.
I definitely would go there. To me, of the possibilities here, that's the most important one. That's because the pricing games have been in existence for so long. We accede to them as if they're not inevitable. And so, yes, I would definitely go there. I mean, I think that the closer we could, I'll even go farther than you said, Alistair. The closer we can get to population-based payment, in which the drugs are just part of a pool of need, and we're paying for the care of people, I think it would change mentality. So yes, of the options, to me, that would be the easiest one, because acceding to the current prices and trying to solve this problem within the constraints of the pricing system we have makes it a much, much harder problem.
Now, the second thing that you didn't touch on are the skewed incentives. So oncologists get paid a percentage of the cost of the drug that they're administering, which seems to me absolutely nuts. Shouldn't we address that head on?
I can't tell you what you should do, but yes, I think I would.
Well, what would you do?
Well, I would do that. What I guess what I'm saying is something that's hard to say, which is change. in this realm is political. It has to do with power structures. And so if you actually didn't have that problem and you asked the question, how should we be procuring this wonderful stuff for people that really need it? Certainly wouldn't put a payment system like that in for anybody, oncologists or anyone else. Yes, I hope you take it on, but it's a tough topic, as Jay will tell you.
I want to put a marker here because I know from a prior conversation with Daniel Goldstein that he has some interesting information about this whole topic of weight-based dosing versus treatment pricing. And that's certainly something we have been talking about as a committee, trying to get a feel for those trade-offs. Daniel, I won't ask you to address it now, but let's be sure we do get to it when you're speaking a little later. Okay.
Interject. I mean, some of the conversations, some of these questions, I'm going to answer directly these questions in my talk that I'm going to give a little later on.
Great. Okay.
Okay, I just say that even weight-based dosing is a tight box compared to person-based payment. You know, when you think about holistic payment, this whole you get many more degrees of freedom in solving this. So just.
Yeah, I agree entirely. I'll give you a prelude as to how I'm going to start my talk. I don't want to have to do all this. I think all of the work that I do is stupid, because it should be done higher up at a higher level. And I don't want to be doing what I'm doing, but I've seen what's been going on for the past several years, and nothing seems to have changed. That's why this is what I'm focusing on.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Okay. Don, can you stay, Don, though, a little bit longer so that we can be sure to have some more opportunity for you to talk after Jay Crossan has spoken?
I can stay with you till 1:30, then I have another.
1:30. Okay. So let's plan on doing that. Deb, if you don't mind, just have it so that Don can have more opportunity for discussion before he leaves, rather than doing all the discussion at the end. We'll kind of interject more discussion after Dr. Crossan has spoken. And then we'll move into those international topics where Daniel and Peter can be most helpful.